In 2018, Riverside County residents elected Chad Bianco as sheriff to address long-standing issues within the sheriff's department. Sheriff Bianco faces the reality of California's failed policies on a daily basis. I'd say that's true, Sheriff. He's been a strong voice for reforming state law to once again ensure public safety across California and return common sense back to the Golden State. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco. Dixie whistle in the wind, that'll get you heaven bound. The devil went down to Georgia, but he didn't stick around. This is God's country. So guys, the way this is going to work is that each of the candidates is going to have 15 minutes to chat with you all and tell you about their campaign, what's important to them. And Sheriff, you're up first.
It does. Oh, it does work. Thank you for turning that on. I just blew in and it didn't. So number one, thank you all for coming. This is amazing that this keeps getting seemingly bigger and bigger every year. And it's very fitting for this year and where we are in the really the opportunity that we have for 2026. We saw in last year's election, there were several fantastic things that happened. Number one, we got a real president. But there was a huge movement in California to a more conservative thought process, and not just from all of us. And when I say that, I mean I guess if you have the courage. Are there any Democrats in the room? That's awesome. That's awesome. Because and speaking of Democrats, I think he probably left. But I just want to tell you that Sheriff Villanueva, it was great that he finally came over. But I want to tell you, he and I were elected at the same time. We became friends because of the whole sheriff thing and back and forth. We are close. Riverside and Los Angeles are close, and sheriffs have a tight relationship. And I'm going to take the credit for him switching over because the first day I met him and we were talking about on the phone and all the problems we're having, I'm like, you know, you're not a Democrat. And he was fighting for a long time, but I'm glad he came around. So, sir, by the time you leave here, I'll have you registered as a Republican. What we saw last year was a switch to a more conservative, sane, common sense approach to how we would want our government to act and the direction and the agenda that we want our government to have. Not only in the fact that every county increased their vote count for President Trump from the time before, and we switched numerous counties, went red for the first time in many, many, many years. The biggest thing for me is that nearly 3/4 of the state passed Prop 36. Prop 36 was, yes, thank you. I spent a lot of time in California over the last year and a half preaching and schooling everyone on not only the failures of Prop 47, but how the government over these past 10 years, 12 years, has absolutely lied to us to promote this agenda and promote this love affair that they have with criminals. And they wanted you all to believe that it was law enforcement's fault. They wanted you to believe that we just weren't doing our job. It's because when you call 911 and nothing happens, when we don't arrest the person, you don't say, when did that law change and what law was it that you didn't abide by? You just say the cops didn't do anything. It's like, I called them and they didn't do anything. They wouldn't arrest the person. Or they arrested him and he immediately got out of jail. He was back before the cops were there. That's the reality of California, and it was being pushed on us. And I will tell you that we have to take a lot of criticism, because it truly was law enforcement's fault, because we were not vocal enough in letting you all know the problems that we were having in Sacramento. And so with Prop 36, I traveled the state, news radio shows, television news radios, speaking with groups about the importance of making sure that Prop 36 was passed so we could once again move to holding criminals accountable. And I'll tell you something. The two DAs that you have up here, for all of you that raised your hand that lived in the Inland Empire, two of the best DAs in the state, hands down. But talking about 36, we were worried. We were worried about lies that were coming from our governor, coming from our attorney general, coming from Democrat leadership, and the ads that they were running to convince you to vote a different direction. And then they were bringing bills forward that were truly meant to confuse you about what that ballot measure was going to do. And so we were hoping for 50% plus one vote. That's all we had to do, is get one vote over the 50% for it to pass, and nearly 75% voted for that. That was a referendum on Sacramento that we are demanding a different direction. We are demanding common sense, especially in the public safety world. We want something different. We demand something different from our government. So even before that, we're here not only for me to tell you how great this state is, but also to tell you how great it's going to be after you elect me as your governor. There's going to be a very, very unique spot that we are in this 2026 election, because we've all said for years that California is a lost cause. The entire country has said that California is blue and that it's a lost cause. The reality is people are wisening up, people are standing up, these types of groups are getting bigger. And if we are ever going to have a chance of taking back this state, it's going to be in this election. 2026 election is going to be absolutely pivotal. I'm not going to say anything negative about anybody running unless they're Democrats, and then they're free game. They've spent 40 years getting us to this point, and they are all going to be held accountable. But the uniqueness in this election, in how we have something different, is we actually, for 6 years, I've been telling everyone that we just need to it has to get worse before it can get better. And California is looking for someone in government, someone to believe in. Any of you in here, this is going to be harder than the one Democrat we had in here, who believes that any part of our government, well, not any part, because we have several handful of them that are trying. Government in general, California government. Anybody believe they're being honest with us? No. Absolutely not. We have been lied to for decades. We are lied to. And here's the proof that I know that. Over 70% of the voting public thinks that it's okay for our politicians to lie to us. It's been accepted. We accept the fact that they're going to lie. I think that's a bunch of garbage. It's a bunch of garbage. We should not be accepting that. The people that we put in elected positions should be telling us the truth, and they should be helping us. And this is where I think we are. We are at a point where Californians are absolutely starving for someone with honesty, character, integrity, and leadership that we can vote for, that we believe is going to go into California, with the state capital of California, with a wrecking ball. This is where the uniqueness comes in, and this is why I'm sitting on this stage. I can tell all of you, and you can ask Denise if you want, and she will confirm. I didn't wake up and say, I want to be governor. It wasn't even my decision that I wanted to be governor, because to be perfectly honest with you, Riverside County residents, raise your hand. Very good. You all have given me my absolute dream job. I have the best job in this country, working in the best county in this state, working for the best officers, employees. My life is absolutely perfect. I didn't want to do anything different. I have a great life. It wasn't me that woke up and said, I want to be governor in 2026. I think it's a great opportunity for me to run and be governor. That's going to be the uniqueness in this election, is that others told me it had to be me. Others told me that you're the leader that we're looking for. You don't get to stand up and say, I'm a leader, I'm a leader. Everyone else tells you whether or not you're a leader. Everyone else was trying to convince me, you can do this, we can do this, it's a great opportunity. You have the integrity, you have the values, you have the morals. Irrefutable, 32 years of irrefutable integrity, honesty, and service above myself to my community. And all we're going to do is take that to a bigger level in the state capitol. We can go around this room. Every one of you all know why California is broken. Do you have to have a politician sit up here and tell you all of the things that are broken? It's all the same. If any politician in any candidate for governor gets up and tells you something different than the rest of us, there's something really wrong with them. Because we all know why California is broken. California is broken because we pay the highest taxes ever. We have the most government regulations on every single industry there is. If anyone tells you they're not going to lower taxes, they're not going to lessen regulation or get rid of regulation, you probably shouldn't vote for them. That's why none of you, well, no one in here, including you, sir, better be voting for a Democrat. Because they're the ones that put all this in place. We need all of that changed. The difference is, I'm the only one with a resume that says, yeah, he's going to do what he says he does. He's been doing it for 32 years, serving us, and especially as the sheriff of one of the largest counties in the country, really. I'll be the only one with a resume. The rest of them will just get up and say, they'll repeat everything that I'm going to say, and I can say the same thing for them, just to be fair. I'll be repeating what they have to say. Because we all have the same platform, the exact same platform. It's just who has proof that they can do it. Everybody can stand up and say, I'm going to do it. Everybody can stand up and say, vote for me, I have a better name, or apparently in California, the Democrats just voted for better hair. But one of the things that we are not voting for, and one of the things that we are not looking for in candidates, is a proven resume, proven leadership. And here's the big one. Everybody can tell you that they're going to do it. I will be the only person to say, well, I actually did do it. I did stand up to the governor. I did stand up for my constituents. When they said that all of you were going to wear a mask, I didn't shout it from the rooftop. I went out and said, that's cute, but not where anyone that represents me works. Riverside County is not. Riverside County was the fastest growing county in the country because everybody from the rest of the state was moving to Riverside County because they had someone that was actually representing their constitutional rights and sticking up for their constitutional rights. I didn't just say it. I didn't jump on the bandwagon. I was arguably, I can't say I was the first because I really didn't care and I wasn't looking, and there may be somebody else in the rest of the country. But I think you all know I was the first to stand up and say this is ridiculous and it isn't going to happen. It's violating their constitutional rights. I am not going to allow big government to trample on the rights of my residents. 32 years, irrefutable, honesty, integrity. And here's the reality. The number one job of Democrats is to destroy Republicans. The number one job of Republicans is to destroy other Republicans and try and win a primary. That's all we've been doing for 50 years. The Democrats have a dozen people that are running. What's the common theme with all of them? They're all going to get out when Kamala gets in. Why? Not because they think she's the best candidate. They all know that she's a train wreck. They're getting out because Democrats are united behind one candidate, and they make sure that candidate wins. And whether they're right or wrong, they're going off of the last election. They think Kamala won 60% of the state, so she's going to win it again in a governor election. They're playing checkers. They're not playing chess. Here's the problem. Republicans have never done that. Republicans never, where are you all at? The Unite conference? Republicans are never united behind one candidate. And here's the reality. You may like someone better than me. You may not like that I'm blunt. You may not like that I tell the truth, and sometimes the truth is brutally honest of something that you don't want to hear. And you don't want to maybe even face the truth that your opinion is based on something I'm telling you is a lie, but it doesn't change the truth. You may like someone else, but the reality is I'm the only one on that ballot that has a chance of winning. The proof is the Democrats are not running their campaigns trying to raise money to fight anybody else. It's to fight me. Every one of their money campaigns are, we need to beat the MAGA sheriff, the this, the whatever it is. Democrats are running against me. Here's the ugly part. Republicans are paying for bad information about me. Republicans are running against me. So the truth of the matter is, I'm the one to beat. I'm the one that they're afraid of. If we're going to unite behind one person, for Californians, this is not going to be about Republicans. It's not going to be about Democrats. It's going to be about Californians and who has the best opportunity to unite Californians for a better direction. And before, I'm sure Grant would love to just give me the hook and pull me off, but before he does that, I'm just going to
You're
stop
armed,
for Grant.
I'm not, because the state doesn't allow me to carry a firearm in it.
That's why I carry a gun, Grant.
Finish up.
No, we're good. I know I've taken too much time. Here's the deal. We're all going to say the same thing. We're tired of California. We're tired of the regulations. We're tired of the taxes. I've already said I've been doing this for a year and a half now, officially for 2 months. You all know where I stand on everything. You all know what my past is and what we've done, how I've changed Riverside County government, how I've saved millions, hundreds of millions of dollars from entire county government, not just the sheriff's office, because I go in there with the attitude that it's your money, not mine. And I'm not going to waste your money. And we are going to fix government so you can have more of your money. Hopefully you're all on social media and you watched me riding my horse saying, in my last video that went viral, saying that I had a bright idea while I'm sitting out here riding on Poncho. By the time I'm done in my second term as your governor, we will not have a state income tax. And here's the thing. Whether you like cops or not, the majority of conservatives do like cops. But I will tell you that there is something that is just different about law enforcement officers than most people. I have spent 32 years now, and I've gotten very, very, very good at it to get to the position where I am. I'm a problem solver. That's all I am. Don't tell me. I don't need directions. I don't need for someone to tell me how to do it. I answer a 911 call. I walk into a situation I know nothing about that is an absolute emergency for someone. I figure it out as quick as I can, solve it, and then move on to the next emergency. There's no meetings. There's no committees. There's none of that garbage. It's just identify a problem and fix it. That's what I've been doing for 32 years. And for the next 8 years, I will do that for all of you as your governor, making sure that your government works for you rather than you working for your government. So thank you all very much.
Sheriff, thank you. Appreciate you. Good luck, Sheriff. Sheriff Chad Bianco.